I started out at 430 pounds and I'm down to 280 pounds. So that's a total weight loss of 150 pounds over 16 months. And I'm looking to probably lose about another 30 pounds. And after that, you know, this is the weight that I want to maintain for the rest of my life. I had a history of high blood pressure in my family. And what brought me here was that I found myself at 430 pounds at 6'5", 6'6". And I was on 3 types of blood pressure medications, which I needed to correct because eventually taking all that medication was going to kill me. So I really had to do something drastic to bring the weight down and correct the blood pressure issue that I had. I considered it for a couple of years, but then I think just my doctor telling me that, you know, you haven't had any kids yet, and you really want to be around to see your kids grow up and go to college, and you know, and just a reminder of going over my family history. And my father died at 47, my uncle died at 38. I had another uncle that died at 47. My grandfather died at 53. So this is something, you know, a trend that I needed to break, and this is my first step in making sure that I don't follow in the same footstep as the rest of the men in my family. I would say just follow the advice of the doctors. I mean, you're not going to get everything right. Now, I don't think anybody gets everything right, but if you do your best to follow the instructions of the doctor, to do the prep work beforehand, to do a lifestyle change, I think that's the most important thing to your success, is to get in your mind that you're not the same person and you have to do things differently going forward to achieve the results that you want to achieve. The best advice I got from my doctor is to make sure that you surround yourself with positive people, and that you basically you learn how to eat differently. I think that's probably the biggest thing, advice I got from the doctor, to take smaller bites, to take time in between bites, and to think about, you know, what you're eating instead of mindlessly eating while you do other tasks. I still struggle with that from time to time, but that's one thing that's helped me in my weight loss journey. My blood pressure is great. I maintain my blood pressure now about 180 over 78, 120 over 78 or 120 over 80, which is about normal where I should be. So I was on 3 different blood pressure medications. Now I'm on a half of dose of 1 now, and I'm looking to get off that last one this year. I walked into the office one day and I had on one of my shirts that I wore, you know, pre-surgery, and I had my tie on and everything, and somebody looked at me and he goes, "It's time. Time to get a new wardrobe." You know, is you know, you're shrinking down to nothing. You know, the clothes are just too big on you, and just going through, you know, belt after belt. You know, I would get a belt, I'd wear it for a couple of months, and I'll get down to the last loop, and I'd have to exchange it for a smaller belt. I had to do that about 3 or 4 times, you know, since the surgery. And I think those are like little aha moments. And I think the biggest one is when I actually reached below the 300-pound mark, and I think that I haven't been there since college. And I think that was a great moment. The most rewarding part, I think, is just the fact of knowing that that I have a fighting chance of being around to see grandchildren and possibly great-grandchildren. Whereas before, when I was 430 pounds, you know, my future wasn't looking too great. So I think that's probably the most rewarding part of this whole experience.